A decade ago, I was cleaning dishes at Einstein Bagels. I was making $7.50 an hour. I had virtually no wealth, well less than $1,000 in total wealth in my life. And we've gotten to a way different place. So today I want to explain exactly how I've made my money. I just want to kind of, get it all out there for anyone who doesn't understand like how I went from where I was at then to where I've gone now, basically in about a decade's time, all right? And I'm only going to cover the big stuff today as far as the things that really changed my life dramatically, and everything I've ever done I'm very proud of in my life, and I got nothing but good things to say about it. When you come from where I came from, where I grew up the first 12 years of my life, it was a horrible neighborhood. There was murders all the time. There was drugs all over the place. We were on food stamps and all that crap, all that usual hood stuff going on. So coming from where I grew up to be where I'm at now, I'm very proud of it. Let's just put it that way. So I want to explain exactly how I've made my money each way along the step, as far as the big things go. So the first thing that really changed my life as far as building up my wealth is I got a job at a place named QT. Before I got a job at QT, which I got a job there right before my 21st birthday, before that time, I had maybe $2,000 in total wealth, probably less than $2,000 in total wealth. I was living with my parents. Before that, I was working at Walgreens, making $8.25 an hour. It's just like a poor person, I guess you could say. I was attending community college and whatnot. I get this job at QT. They started me at around $40K a year. So basically, this was a really good time for me financially because it was the most money by far I had ever made. And then on top of that, my expenses were still pretty low. I ended up moving out of my parents' house when I was like 21 and a half or so, the summertime of that would have been 2011, I think it was, sometime around there. I was 21 years old at that time. And making $40K a year. I had no kids or anything like that. I got a girlfriend at that time who ended up moving in a few months later, who's now my wife, and she helped out with the bills, and she was making decent money. She was making like $30K a year or so at QT, and then she ended up becoming an assistant manager. And so combined, we ended up making around $100K a year, and we did this for about 3 years straight. About $100K per year. We moved out to the Carolinas. Now, as you can imagine, if you're making $100K and you're a couple, you have no kids at those particular times, you're living in a 1-2 bedroom apartment like we were doing at those times, you can save a lot of money, like a massive amount of money. You can save and save and save. And so that's what my wife and I did. She would save and build up her accounts. I would save and build up my accounts. And my accounts, what I mean is in the stock market, okay? In the stock market. We would build these stock market accounts, and we knocked it out of the park every single year. Some of my best investments were Cabela's, Monster Energy, Trinity Industries, Cirrus Logic back then. That payoff really didn't come till like 2014, 2015. There was a ton of stocks left and right. True Religion I owned for a time. They ended up getting bought out. King Digital, I owned them. They ended up getting bought out by Activision Blizzard. There were a lot of different companies we had big gains in, and we made a lot of money in the stock market. So we were funneling money like crazy to our accounts, that we were basically just saving away, and it was going straight towards our stock market accounts. Then comes August of 2014, and that's when we had our first son. And basically, I left Quick Trip at that time. I left QT. I was just kind of burnt out, and I don't know, I felt like I needed to go somewhere else with my life, and also I wanted to enjoy my son's first year of life. So it no longer made sense for me to be at QT anymore. And unfortunately, I lost a lot of drive and ambition at those times, okay? I don't regret anything. I'm happy I took my son's first year of life off with, I didn't like do anything pretty much. I mean, I did kind of still invest in stocks and whatnot. And I went way off the rails in 2015. Anybody that knows my 2015 story, you know what happened that year. Messed around with margin. Don't ever mess around with margin. But I did lose a lot of my ambition because I don't know, didn't feel like doing anything. I was just playing video games all the time, and it's crazy for me to think back to the place I was at that time. I don't know if it's QT that made me lose my ambition, or if it was just like the daily corporate grind, or just like the suffocation of not being able to do what I want to do each day. I have no clue what it was, or maybe it was a multitude of factors, but I really lost a lot of my drive and ambition, and I was just basically living off savings. So I had over $200,000 before I was even age 25. Okay, I had $200,000 in my stock market accounts, and that's crazy because we built up. When I was 20 years old, I basically had no net worth, and then we went from that to I alone in my stock market accounts had over $200,000 in my brokerage account, and then my wife had a good sum more. So we were in a really good financial position for the age groups we were in. It was insane, really. And so then came 2015, I mess around with margin, I start doing short-term trading, I go away from everything that made me successful, and I lose a lot of money, okay? So it was clear that between all the money I was spending, because I'm still like, you know, got all the normal life expenses, right? We were living in like a 3-bedroom apartment in a really nice community at that time with our one son, and I was just spending money left and right. I was still, you know, we were still going out and doing the things that we usually did, but back when we were making 100K plus per year, and I'm spending all this money out of my stock market accounts, plus taking out margin loans, and it was just messing around with a lot of stuff. So then what I ended up doing is I start a real estate marketing company at the very end of 2015. I started a real estate marketing company doing photography, videography in Las Vegas for realtors and whatnot. I built that business literally from the ground up. I had no connections. It was just like cold calling, cold emailing, and that kind of crap, you know, like trying to get it off the ground any way I could, passing out business cards to places when they were closed, doing whatever I had to do to try to build that business up, and I built it up. And the real estate marketing company ended up getting to a place where I could pay all the bills, didn't have to take any more money out of my stock market accounts or anything like that. It was great, and it bought me time to start the financial education channel, which I started at the very beginning of 2018, the channel you're watching this on, the financial education channel. So this bought me time to get down here, basically. But the only reason I even had enough time to start the real estate marketing company was really because I had all that money from the stock market before, right? My wife and I had all that stock market money we had made over the years. So that bought me time to basically take a year off, reassess my life, basically, and then go and start a real estate marketing company at the very end of 2015. Almost toward the beginning of 2016 is really where I started getting it off the ground. I started this channel in January 2016, and this bought me time to keep the financial education channel going, because basically I was thinking about quitting the real estate marketing company because it was very hard to get it off the ground in the early days, and I was thinking about going to work for someone else. I had job offers from like Pilot, Flying J, and places like that, and they were going to offer me like $50K a year starting as like an assistant of some kind, like the one that works right under the store manager. And I was thinking about doing that for a while and just going back to that life. But I was like, man, I don't know if I want to go back to that corporate grind type crap, man. I think I really just want to be in business for myself. I'm ready to be my own man. And so I just stuck with the real estate marketing company, built it, and we built it. And by that summer of 2016, like I said, I was able to pay all the bills. There was no like, you know, oh, I need to take some more money out of the stock market. I was able to pay all the bills, and that was a phenomenal feeling. And then even started having some money left over, okay? The financial education channel really starts to take off in 2017, okay? We start getting views. I mean, an average video would start getting, you know, 1,000 plus views in the first day, you know, 2,000 plus views in the first 48 hours, which was really good at that time and whatnot. And so it just kept taking off. And basically, what I started doing is I launched a book. I launched a book exactly with my stock market strategy. I launched a course with my stock market strategy in it, and then I start my stock market membership group, which is basically, this is the stuff I do nowadays for money. Is I basically make YouTube videos. YouTube pays me out for the ads that come in. Book sales don't really matter that much to me anymore. It's all about my course, which gives away basically my entire investing strategy in like an 11-part course. I go over everything I look for in a company. It's like the first link down there in the description. And my membership group is the main thing, which is the third link down there in the description. That's the main thing I do nowadays, is my stock market membership group, where I give lessons away as far as like teaching people about different things in the stock market. Every Friday I cover a bunch of different stocks and like macroeconomic type events that are going in the economy, my feeling on it. Anytime I place a trade, I actually talk about it. I also have an account that has like $30,000 in there. That's a public account, and I show all the trades and what shares I own in that account. Each month I put like at least 5 to 10,000 in that account, just to kind of build it up more and more, so people in that group can kind of see that account getting built over time. And that's where I'm at nowadays. Now, once again, everything comes back to the stock market in the end. Everything, my whole life, as far as what I've done financially, it's all possible literally because of the stock market. If it wasn't for the stock market, the whole thing doesn't work, because I get the job at QT, I funnel money. Where do I funnel that money? Into the stock market. I get gains on that, I end up building up my accounts alone to 200,000 plus before I was even age 25, right? That buys me time so I can quit QT and get out of that corporate grind that I was in. That buys me time so I can start my real estate marketing company and the financial education channel and get those things going. And then the only reason I really make a lot of money nowadays is because people listen to me as far as the stock market goes, because I have a ton of experience in it and I've done it for such a long time and have done it so well, okay? Doesn't mean I always make money, but 95% of the time plus I'm gonna make money in the end. And it's all literally possible because of the stock market. My whole system of how I've made my money over my life is literally because of the stock market. If it wasn't for being a stock market investor, the whole thing doesn't work. So I'm super thankful that the stock market is the way it is nowadays. It's so much easier for someone like myself to have gotten involved with no connections in the stock market, with no one around me in real life who was a stock market investor. I knew no one. So the fact that I've been able to be such a success in the stock market, like it's amazing, because none of it would have been possible 30, 40, 50 years ago, or especially any time before that. Before that, if you want to invest in the stock market, you need to have connections. You need to have somebody that teaches you it, in person and whatnot, a family member, a friend, or something like that. To do trades back then, it was like insane. You had to actually call on the phone, and who knows how much the commissions were. It might have been $50 per trade. A lot of you guys now have Robinhood accounts that you literally pay $0 in trade commissions, or some of you guys have, and have somebody like Fidelity, like I have, which charges $4.95. When I started investing in 2008, 2009, it was $19.95 per trade, and they just dropped that price from $39.95 per trade, guys. So it was like, oh wow, I only have to pay $20 in trade commissions at that time. Nowadays, you guys get to pay, $5 or less, or free to do trades. It's amazing. You can get all the public information so easy on literally any computer, your phone, your tablet, your computer. None of that was literally possible 15, 20 years ago, or any time past that. None of that. You couldn't just, let me look into Coca-Cola. Let me pull up their annual report here. Oh, I got all their numbers. I got all their reporting. I got everything. I got their conference calls. That life was not possible before this, guys. That life was not possible before this. Like, to get that information, you had to contact all these people and then hope they send you the printed materials, and it was just a mess, guys. It was just a mess to try to even think about investing in the stock market successfully prior to literally the past 10 years. It's changed everything. The internet's really changed everything. And the fact that trade commissions have been brought down, the fact that you can get so much information online nowadays, you have somebody like myself who can teach you all these different things. The whole world's changed. It's changed dramatically. But I'm very thankful I happen to be born when I'm born, and I'm very thankful for the stock market, because my whole system of wealth, it never would have worked without the stock market. And guys, it always gave me a goal to funnel more money in, build that money through getting gains on stocks, and then just keep funneling it from there. So I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for where I've come from and where I've gone, and how we got where I'm at today. So it's pretty amazing, guys. It's pretty amazing, and I'm very happy. So I hope this story kind of inspires you and just kind of explains a little bit about my background and how I've made my money over time. So anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.